an odd, low-scoring game, even for these two teams that are very good defensively.
And some of that is fatigue, most likely.
Shackle launches. Shackle gets it to go down.
Now he came in the game with a lot of time left. He's got to be careful on the defensive end. I'm going at him if I am Boise State, but that's a big shot. That's why you need him in. He's offensively a threat. 8 points.
Dutrieve, corner, Acott, got his man off his feet and cannot connect. Butler with the rebound. Little hesitation, Butler under the basket, kicks it out to Mayesh, to Butler. Butler has it blocked away by Armouche.
Jordan Shackle, who's been struggling a little bit with foul trouble, back in the game. This is a nice read off this screen, a nice fly. It's a fly screen, a flare screen, however you want to call it. He reads it well, and you've got to make sure that you are pasted to him because he is so lethal.
He has 59 games in his college career with multiple threes and gets another one to go down.
And that's a nice draw off. That out-of-bounds play was for him.
How about that, though? I mean, he was out of bounds when it went through the nets.
A terrific screen, and he was flying out, and he was definitely off balance.
The lead was 8. It's now 6 as Shaver is able to convert. Our trends. The largest lead today was San Diego State had a 9-point lead. And they're going to get Shaver for a foul.
And this is a great out-of-bounds play here for San Diego State. You see, this is a draw for him. It's a double staggered screen, basically. And then you get another one in the corner. Nice job. And then the closeout just a hair late.
11 points for Shackle, who's been playing with 3 fouls. By the way, Alston still on the bench for Boise State. Shackle short. Rebound by Rice. Off the tip from Armouche. Shaver. Acon's open for 3. And Shackle runs down the rebound. Now they're going to call foul on Acott near midcourt against Mitchell, battling against Mitchell.
Yeah, certainly not where you want to foul anybody.
No.
You're not going anywhere there. You're not even a threat.
There's Alston, who remains on the bench. He's had a tough day. He's made 1 3. He's got 7 points. In the running for Mountain West Player of the Year. And Shackle goes all the way on the other side for Pulliam. Max Rice was trying to be the arbitrator. Mitchell can't get it, but he got his own rebound, and he's fouled. And he'll get a couple of free throws.
Yeah, that's what Matt Mitchell does. I mean, he's so strong, and we talked about his body control. Good hustle.
7:48 to play in the second half.
And Matt Mitchell just looking to be aggressive. This is anything but passive, that's for sure. Off the bounce, misses, goes after my own board. How about that? Great hustle, gets to the line.
2:38 in what is a low-scoring game, defensive battle. A lot of missed shots, but now Shackle for San Diego State is starting to heat up with 3 fouls.
And that's what you want to see. And he's doing it from different aspects of the floor. Good job creating his own shot. He's so adept at coming off screens, and this is what they're doing. They're running some plays for him, and that man can shoot, and he's firing away. And how about this for a stat? He now has 34 career games with at least 3 field goals made, and San Diego State is 30-3 in those games.
Amazing. Well, our PNC Bank difference maker, he certainly has been in 12 minutes, and he's only played 12 because of the fouls. He has 11 points.
Pretty efficient in that amount of time.
He's had some conversations with the officials today on a couple of his fouls. He and Casey McClellan having a chat before Matt Mitchell goes to the free throw line.
Getting in foul trouble, I know from experience, it can take you right out of a game offensively.
Mitchell missed the first one. It's odd that Alston has struggled offensively. He only has 7 points, but Mitchell also only has 5 today. Shackle's the only one in double figures. And he missed both. That's shocking.
Yeah, that is, and that shows fatigue. I mean, anytime one of your best foul shooters and players misses 2, you know they're feeling it a little bit in their legs.
4th in the conference in free throw percentage. Alston back in, has it knocked away, picked up by Tomajic with the good hands from Pulliam, who was the one who deflected it. Pulliam into the paint. And it could be a hand-checking foul, and Alston hanging on the back.
And Tomajic is a handful down low.
All right, so 1-1 for San Diego State and Tomajic, the transfer from Maryland. 16 games last year for the Terps, all off the bench. And Johnson comes in for Mitchell. I love the jockey. You know, we can hear so much when there's no fans. So I'm not sure who it was. Did you hear him say it's going to be short? It's going to be short. And he's.
You can hear it.
Yeah.
You can hear everything.
Well, that one was short, and Alston with a very comfortable rebound for the Broncos. Dutrieve to Shaver, quick first step. Shaver off the glass, and that is a pretty shot.
And Shaver's been able to do that throughout this game, and I'd like to see him do it even more because he's been really adept off the bounce, quick. He's got a good first step. He's got that all day.
See the 5 on the floor for both teams, and away from the basketball, a foul on Kejab.
Marcus Shaver has been aggressive from the start of this game, and it started out on the defensive end of the floor, and that really rotated to his offense, but he stops on a dime there with a beautiful mid-range jumper, a lost art. If you have that in your repertoire.
Spent 3 years at Portland before transferring to Boise State.
And he led that team in scoring in each of his last 2 years.
Shackle converts the first free throw. That makes both. Seven-point game. Dennis off the high screen by Kejab, bouncing his way to the basket, and a foul called on Gomez.
On-ball screen action here, and then Gomez just gets called for the foul. He's kind of moving, not quite in position.
The fact that he was trailing from the get-go was what kept him off balance, as Dennis missed the first one.
Remember, you can be moving and still be in a good defensive position. It just, you're absolutely right. If you're off balance at all, they're going to call it a block.
And now the second shot coming from Dennis. He averages nearly 10 a game. And Ray J. Dennis makes the second one to make it a 6-point game. Boise State within reach. Alston is on the ball. Shackle trying to get free. He does, and then he'll fire. May have been partially blocked. Alston gets the rebound because there was some really good boxing out going on underneath. And they're going to call a moving screen on Dennis.
Yeah, and they're calling a lot right now. You see the refs, their eyeballs are everywhere. Whether you're defending or you're setting screens, and that was a foul. It was a very slanted, not even a real screen, actually. It was falling out of bounds.
It was unlucky.
It was. He was in a bad position.
San Diego State's without a field goal in the last 3 minutes. Gomez running the baseline, open for a moment. I don't know how he was able to maintain his footwork on that. Pulliam sweeps in, can't get it to go. Tomajic, though, is there to clean it up.
That's Tomajic's game. I mean, he lingers around the rim. Good hustle with the follow.
Yeah, they're going to call Pulliam for a foul. That's his second personal foul. 2 shots for the Broncos. Boise State within the top 100 in free throw shooting in college basketball, as Dennis makes the first one. Armouche checks back in.
And he made that big shot to force overtime on Thursday.
Yep. And he makes both free throws here, so it's back to a 2-possession game. A little different pressure now, full court pressure by Boise State. Well, they went hard after the inbound, and now it's just really man-to-man.
They're pretty token-like.
Yeah. Gomez fires from 3. And Alston with his 3rd rebound in the last 5 minutes. Alston leaves it underneath for Armouche, who lays it in. That's 10 points for Armouche, a double-double.
Yeah, what a pretty pass. I mean, that is one thing we could say. Alston is not a black hole. If he finds that somebody else is a little more open, he's making the extra pass.
That is the 3rd double-double of the year for Armouche. Shackle cut off with some help from Armouche, and an offensive foul on Shackle. That is number 4 on him.
Yeah, he pushed off, and that was good defense. I mean, they've made it hard on Shackle the entire day, but this is really, Shaver has been incredible from the get-go. He is just tough as nails. You see that left hand. Now, had that left hand not gone out, he might have gotten the blocking call.
How about the reaction from Shaver when he's on the ground?
So excited, right? Nothing like getting the charge.
Shaver will launch a 3 and convert to make this a 1-point game.
Marcus Shaver, I mean, Leon Rice talked about him to us, and he said that this is a guy who could get 40 on any night if he wants to. He's still learning the game, and you know, he's a junior, but he's just that good. And he's only scratching the surface, according to Leon Rice, and you could see that in today's game.
San Diego State with a 1-point lead, 49-48. Don't forget they had a 17-point lead the last game, but they never trailed in that one. They haven't trailed since January 16th against Utah State. That was the doubleheader loss to the Aggies, as Mitchell cans it.
That is interesting. I mean, they seem to find a way to just squeak ahead of their opponents, even if it's by 1 or 2 points.
Workman-like day for Mitchell. He struggled. Alston has struggled, the 2 leading scorers for both teams. Mitchell now has missed 3 free throws. And now he steals it away from Alston. Can he go downhill? Goes to Johnson, who will go down and then up and bring it home.
That's that live ball turnover you want to stay away from, because it leads to buckets like that. Super easy.
And just like that, San Diego State has the lead up to 4. Dutrieve with a crossover. Alston cut off by a couple of different players. Dutrieve, step back 3, way downtown. Got it to go.
Wow. That was a create some space, shoot it from deep, hurl that went in. Big bucket.
Yeah, back to a one-point game. Both teams with 5 made three-pointers today. Mensah finds Pulliam, leaves it back to Mensah, able to catch and get it over the top of Armouche.
And somehow Boise State is not able to get that stop after they score, and it's just continuing to remain a little bit behind here.
Brian Dutcher said to us the other day about that 17-point lead his team blew. He said, listen, he goes, I told them, college basketball is about runs. He said, we had one earlier this year, 16-point run against BYU. And that brought us back even with them as Shaver picks up his 13th point. And now a timeout called by San Diego State. 2:32 to play in the second half.
A terrific passing off the turnover and the throwdown by Shaver. And then, of course, Shaver down this end. Terrific shot. Pull-up J. And we got
the year with Malachi Flynn being the last one. And here are the Player of the Year candidates. Now, you might be able to add one or two others, but I think these are the 5. Don't you, Julian?
Yeah, I do. I really do. And, of course, we've got 2 of them in this game, Matt Mitchell and Derek Alston Jr. Sherfield's been pretty good throughout the season. Seen him have some hiccups of games, but I think, to me, Alston has separated himself a bit amongst the others, and I'm sure that you might agree as well. Just in terms of his skill set, he's just so able to do so many things. He's the most NBA-type player on that list, but it's always tough because you got Matt Mitchell, who's on maybe the best team in the league, and he's got some help around him. It's just they're all good players. What a list.
Well, it's a 1-point lead for the Aztecs. They just called a timeout. 2:25 to play here in the second half. Shackle back in with 4. Seiko directing traffic up top. Now Pulliam wants the screen from Mensah, picked up by Armouche. Mitchell alone in the corner. Pulliam can't get it to go down. He loves that shot. And Armouche with another rebound as he edges closer to his career high. He has 12.
They've played big. They've gone with him in the second half, and he's been really good.
Boise State can take its first lead since the Broncos were up 2-0. Shaver, and it's no good. Pulliam with the rebound. That ends a 5-for-5 stretch for the Broncos. Pulliam to Mitchell. High-low from Mensah. The catch and the finish is there.
A nice patience, and they have found Mensah underneath and had a pretty well-balanced attack here.
Dennis for 3. And he doesn't get the bounce in the roll.
A couple of three-pointers taking the last 2 possessions.
He had that vision of the first game where he tied it and helped send it into overtime. 1 minute coming up here in the second half. Pulliam hovering, Shackle. Shackle lets it fly. Shackle can't get it to go, and the rebound by the Broncos. They don't need a 3. They can get a 2.
And they've settled for the 3 the last 2 possessions.
And now a timeout called by Alston, and he is frustrated. 30 seconds left to play. It's a 1-possession game. Come on back.
Then there's some kind of roll to the basket for 2.
Dutrieve takes the inbounds to Dennis. Dennis going right to the bucket, swings it to the corner. Alston is on the near side, covered by Mitchell. Dutrieve, shot clock is at 5. Dutrieve going to the basket, lays it in. He gets the 2. It's a 1-point game, and Boise calls a timeout.
And it took quite a bit of time to get the shot off, but that's a good scenario.
We broke down Boise State. We'll do the same with San Diego State when we return. Our game reset. It's a 1-point ball game. This has been different than Thursday night's game, which went into overtime, but it's been entertaining. This was the last bucket for the Broncos to pull within 1.
And this is a nice penetration, and Dutrieve all the way in the lane. You could have asked for a better shot, really, in that situation. You're down 1 now. San Diego State has the basketball. You've got to foul immediately. If you don't get the steal right away, which they're going to full court pressure here, go for the steal. If you don't have it, you've got to foul.
All right, so Polium will trigger the inbounds. He can run the baseline off the made basket. You got really good free throw shooters if you're San Diego State. That guy's one of the best.
You got to foul. You can't wait too long here.
Oh, how about this? Shackle in the open floor. You got to foul Shackle. 8.7 to play.
They let too much time go off. I know they wanted to get the ball in the right hands.
Yeah, Seiko would have been the right hand 67% because they went small, but he never got it.
And then you just got to go for it. You've got to foul a little earlier than that.
All right, so Shackle goes to the line. He's 90%. Or 89.
And he's basically automatic.
Yeah. 2 for 2 today. San Diego State's playing everybody back defensively,
which is smart. You know, you don't need the rebound here.
All right, so even if he makes this, it's a 1 possession game. A 3 could tie it with 8.7 to play. Again, 2 timeouts for San Diego State, 1 for Boise State.
You go for the 3, I think. I mean, and
if you're San Diego State,
you could foul. I would foul.
Yeah.
I would think about fouling. And Boise State's been a pretty good free throw shooting team, but they're not automatic. I mean, then they only can give them 2 points.
58-55. We'll see if Brian Dutcher has his team foul of 3 when we return. Brian Dutcher's team is a defensive-minded team. A lot of times when coaches are defensive-minded, when they're up 3, at this point in the game, they don't foul. But it seems like it would be the right thing to do is let him get it in, maybe run a second or 2 off, and then foul to send Boise State to the free throw line.
You know, there's no wrong answer there. It's a matter of your preference as a coach. But yes, to me, you let a little time go off the clock. Now, if the right person catches the ball, especially somebody on Boise who's not a great free throw shooter, foul him. Then you're only going to give up 2 points. And then it'll still be a 1 point. You'll still be up 1 point, and then you're going to get the ball back, and they're going to have to foul you instead of risking allowing them to make a 3 and tie this thing. It's either conservative versus not conservative in terms of coaching here.
Well, for those of you tuning in for the Northern Iowa-Illinois State game, you'll be able to find that online at cbssports.com/CBSSN as soon as it tips off. And, of course, we'll send you out there immediately at the conclusion of this game. 8.7 to play. They're going to let it play, and then Johnson does foul. I like that. You let some time go off the clock before you do it.
What we said, right?
Yeah.
It was exactly what we thought would happen, and that's smart. Because you're going to get the ball back here.
All right, so a 3-point lead. Dutrieve to the free throw line.
And he's 70% from there. Around.
Yeah, so he was probably the ideal guy to go. Now he makes the first one. So what's he going to do here? Is he going to try to hammer it off the back of the iron, or is he going to try to make it and then you foul?
I would consider missing it on purpose and see if we can get the rebound and put it back up. But especially if you've been battling pretty well on the boards. Now you don't have position with the boards here.
And you don't have Armushin either, and he's been their best rebounder. He does make it, so they're probably going to foul right away, but they're going to have a timeout first with a substitution. Gomez, who is, as we said, active leader in free throw percentage in college basketball for his career.
And they want him to have the ball.
Yeah, Seiko's the only one whose numbers are a little lower.
And there was a foul before the ball even went in.
The foul's on Shaver. That'll be his 3rd. 5.8 is a lifetime in this game. All right, so here's the foul. Shackle 20. Shaver had him by the waist.
Yeah, but that's the way you want. That's what you want. There's no time off the clock, and you got the foul.
First free throw is good. The Northern Iowa at Illinois State game is underway and now available at cbssports.com/CBSSN. We'll get you out there as soon as this one is over. All right, so again, a make here. It's a one-possession game, but it's a 3, and Brian Dutcher, I would think, would foul.
Yeah, he'll do the same thing. Because we just saw what he did prior possession. He'll foul here.
And Johnson will check in. He has 4. Shackle will check out with 4. And Boise State will inbound. Dutry. Game is to 5, and there's Johnson. He's fouled out of this game now.
They prefer that than giving up that bomb 3.
Yep. All right, so he'll check out. They were going to bring Shackle back in anyway.
Yeah, they need him for offense.
Dutry back to the free throw line. He just made 2. Now I think if you make the first one, you've got to miss the second one.
I do. I think that's important at this point.
2 shots. No, that's a huge miss. Now he's got to miss, and they need a tip. It's not Armush that will check back in. It's going to be Acott that will check back in.
Does that surprise you a little? I mean, I kind of thought Armush would be back in the game for rebounding purposes.
He has 12 rebounds today. They thought he was going to go in. Dutry cans it. I think it's hard to miss when you're not used to missing. I know guys practice
it. Very hard. It is. It's harder than you think.
Gomez will check back in. Mensah checks out. And we'll probably see the same scenario. They'll try to foul whoever's cutting toward the basketball to send him back to the free throw line. And Mitchell is fouled. The clock, they're going to have to add time to the clock.
Yeah.
They should probably get it up to 3.1. Not that it will matter much if Mitchell cans both of these free throws.
Yeah, he has a chance here to ice the game. And like we have said, he's a phenomenal free throw shooter. Has had a rough game, but his team has picked him up.
The officials are going to look at the time. And both coaches are using the opportunity to design a play. This is what they're looking at. Mitchell gets fouled, and see where the clock is. 3.8, and the foul is called right there. So actually 3.6 or 7.
We were pretty close.
Well, on Thursday night, it was a 17-point game. And San Diego State watched that lead get wiped away by Boise State. Dennis hit the 3 to tie it and send it into overtime. And then Brian Dutcher's team exploded in overtime. Just kind of like they did to start the first half and the second half.
In this game, we saw pretty much very consistent, pretty close the whole game.
Yeah.
No huge run. As we look back here at the clock, that's what they're looking at when he catches the ball, how much time has gone off. And yeah, they're going to gain a few seconds here, or at least up to 3 something.
Yeah, 3.3. All right, so Matt Mitchell, 10th in scoring at San Diego State. If he makes both these free throws, he moves to 9th. Makes the first one. This is the bigger. This is the game right here.
Yeah. And he's the man you want at the line in this moment.
And now the second shot to make it a 2-possession game. It's good. He is money in the bank. 9th all-time in scoring in San Diego State history. He's given them a 4-point lead. The ball is tipped, saved by Seiko, and then out of bounds with 1.9 to play. It'll be Boise State basketball. If you're San Diego State, you just back off at this point, right?
Back off. You know, they can take the hurl shot and make it, and you still win. If it's a buzzer beater, but
well, timeout call.
Timeout.
Boise State calls a timeout. Broncos last of the game. We'll be back. You know, in football, when there's a Hail Mary, they put all the defensive players back, all the way back. Leon Rice's team needs a Hail Mary and a half. Brian Dutcher, I would think, will just have his team just go all the way back. Just stay away. Right?
Yeah, stay away. Just let him shoot. And if you do end up fouling for whatever reason, you're really just sending them to the line for two.
Yeah, they defend the inbound with the Mensa. Here's the last shot of the game. It's no good, and San Diego State completes the sweep against Boise State, 62-58, solidifying its spot atop the Mountain West Conference. Pretty nice way for the seniors to wrap up their home schedule. Here are the standings with the win. San Diego State now 13-3. Colorado State is right there as well. Utah State jumps ahead of Boise State.
Yeah. A big win here for San Diego State.
Win.
A huge weekend. Going into this weekend, everything was a toss-up with those top 3-4 teams.
No doubt.
So they clinched it, to me, with that win.
They may have solidified a spot in the NCAA tournament. So many things with a victory here today. 62-58, the final score for Julianne Vianney. I'm Tom McCarthy. For our entire CBS crew, this has been a presentation of CBS Sports Network, the 24-hour home of CBS Sports. After the commercial break, you'll be sent to Normal, Illinois for Northern Iowa and Illinois State. So long, everybody, from San Diego.